Boyer looking to throw on 3rd and 9, and that pass gets batted down. It's Cameron Jordan. Last few years. So the second play for Manziel, and he hands it off, and Burrell is swallowed up by Curtis Lofton, and Manziel will stay on the field.
Lewis on Patterson, much of the game. On 1st and 10. Bridgewater goes down. Cameron Jordan.
So Rob Ryan, the defensive coordinator, he's been a little under fire here. And we'll see what happens there. And Martin is going to be knocked back for a big loss of about 5 yards, thanks to Cameron Jordan, the right end.
Thinks he's got him in the
play clock at 1. They just do get it off, and Rodgers is going to get spun down and sacked by Cameron Jordan. Rodgers out of the gun from the 36-yard line. Gets sacked. Cameron Jordan.
So it's interesting to bring up the play calling aspect of it. His Gore, and he gets driven back there, nowhere to go. Good pressure from the Saints at right side of the line. This is a critical stretch. 1:13 to go in the half. 21-10 San Francisco, and good field position at the 44. One timeout. Kaepernick in trouble, and he fumbled the football. Cam Jordan's got it for the Saints. What a time for a turnover. Tyron Walker made the play, and Cam Jordan recovered it. 1st and 10, San Francisco up 11 here in the 3rd. Kaepernick has all day. Now some pressure comes, and he's in trouble, and now he goes down. Kaepernick had a long time to throw the ball, but Cam Jordan came in and gets the sack, his 5th of the year.
Hill going nowhere, wrapped up by Cameron Jordan.
Bernard Pierce gives him a break. Pierce loses 5. Pursued by Paris Harrelson.
Well, Carissa Thompson again checking with the medical staff of the Steelers, and they say that Roethlisberger is okay. That one batted in the air and intercepted by Cameron Jordan. So here the Saints come into Pittsburgh having not intercepted a pass in over 100 attempts.
And now playing a team like this where they're playing pretty solid, we'll see what happens next week for them.
And Roethlisberger is dropped by Jordan.
Mike Adams is having a bad day today. I tell you, every time you look up, you see 94 somewhere around.
2nd and 10 at the 21. Short drop by McCown. Nobody open. Wanted to take off. Now he sacked. Tyron Walker. He is a positive, one of the most positive coaches you'll ever meet. He feels his future is bright, and the Bucs will start winning. McCown is sacked. Cam Jordan.
On that step, remember he coached the Raiders for a few years as Arizona on offense for the 2nd time. One play goes nowhere. Cam Jordan just blew that thing up. And the Saints defense, they had a great year. Rob Ryan's first year last year, though, John.
But that time's coming. It's incredible technology.
Johnson nowhere to go. Cam Jordan right there. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. Yeah, you can only watch your own practices. They don't have it where they can film actual games yet. So game film.
Bucs take over with great field position after the missed field goal. Doug Martin carries. And the ball came out again. Cameron Jordan has it for the Saints. It's another New Orleans takeaway. Under 5 to play. Winston looks to throw, has pressure, and is going to get sacked. Cameron Jordan.
Quarterback that's stopped short.
Tolbert with a loss in the backfield. What a play. Cameron Jordan, who had been worked on over on the Saints sideline in that previous series.
They let the play go. He just tossed it wildly, and Jordan is right there, but a flag is down. Might have been a horse collar.
Horse collar.
Humbar is in for him. And the Saints, Cameron Jordan takes down Ryan. First down. Ryan. Saints all over him. Again, it's Cameron Jordan.
Jim, excuse me.
They take the ball right out of the hands of Ryan. It was Jordan who's had just a huge game, who falls on it as well.
Third down and 11. Giants must get to the 33. Manning hit as he throws. The ball comes loose. And is recovered by Manning.
Hoyer points it out and sees him back two into coverage out of that pressure, but still get home. And it's Cameron Jordan with the first sack of the day for the Saints back around midfield.
No team runs it more than the Panthers this year in the NFL, over 50%. Newton is going to be sacked back near the 30.
Where we go? And Charles Sims hit immediately by Cameron Jordan. Jordan, one of the few defenders who are really having an outstanding year for New Orleans.
With Jim Bob Cooter calling the plays. 3rd and 2, Stafford reloads and treble goes down. Cameron Jordan with his 9th sack of the year, and that's the 3rd for the Saints here tonight. Josh Harris, the long snapper, and the kick is blocked. Matt Ryan, they're going to play his own. Ryan steps up in trouble. They got him. First sack of the game. Yes, sir. Cameron Jordan. You got it.
When you have a guy that's fought that hard to get back and follow his dream of playing in the NFL, I think everybody respects that.
From the 41, Manning sacked back at the 35-yard line. Cameron Jordan. Yardage situation in the first half. On 4th down. Now 3rd and goal. Manning looking end zone. He throws. And that ball was tipped.
They marked him short of the line to make. It's 3rd down and 1. Pressure brought by New Orleans. And they are taking Ryan to the turf back at the 46-yard line. Led by Cameron Jordan.
Expect this to be challenged.
Melvin Gordon knocked out right away. 47th career 300-yard game for Phillip Rivers, his 2nd of the year. Of course, he threw for 326 last week against the Colts. On 3rd and goal, Rivers in trouble. Looked like he lost the football, but got it back. Cam Jordan was the one who, oh, look at this.
This is Ware. And he's tackled by Cameron Jordan.
Feeling better, but he's still not completely there yet. Michael gets hit in the backfield by Cameron Jordan. A loss of 3 downs. Tips Cameron Jordan.
That's why we'll see a little bit more patient approach here on offense for the 49ers.
Harris into a crowd and shoved backwards, and an ankle tackle, and a good one by Cameron Jordan, who's been one of the steadiest defenders for the Saints this year.
An offense that's surging, it's a little bit questionable.
Time for Kaepernick, but can he find any? They got a bottle up and he's thrown down. It's a sack for the Saints, and give Cameron Jordan the credit.
So 3rd and 9. Simeon, he's going to go down again. And that is Cameron Jordan. Booker gets the handle. Booker in traffic, backed up a yard. At the 8, it's Booker. Shut down. Collapsed on him. Jordan had that sealed, completely blocked off.
From the gun, and that is meeting the man head on.
After a pickup of 5, 2nd down. Goff is going to go down. And this time there are no flags. Give Cameron Jordan the sack. We have a total of 70 on the board. 4th and a yard. Todd Gurley. And the Saint defense fighting as if this was a one-score game.
Stands out to run their offense. They may have to do some adjusting if that's a long-term injury.
Busy start for Martin, and couldn't tiptoe away from Cameron Jordan. He'll be dropped for a loss of a pair.
Trust your position. You didn't have to hold right there. He grabbed the jersey.
From the 1-yard line. Driven backwards is Martin on 1st and goal, and that's Anthony.
behind.
A gain of 17.
Ooh, Cam Jordan.
All over Rodgers behind the line of scrimmage.
First down from the 40 for the Cardinals. He's already got 30 total yards in this game. The pressure is on Palmer, and he's going to get sacked. Cameron Jordan.
Field and try and match.
And the Saints have scored, Darrell, on their last 5 possessions. Buccaneers looking to answer as Winston is wrapped up. And down he goes, Cameron Jordan with the Saints sack.
Because he was under pressure so often, but given time tonight, he's been striking down the field. Bradford sacked this time. Cam Jordan has the ball as well, but they're not going to give it to him. Still Vikings ball.
NFL at this point.
2nd and 4. Gillisley. Oh, as he clobbered at the line, maybe a yard behind it by Cameron Jordan.
Cam Newton pointing out Kenny Vaccaro, 3rd down and 3. Newton in trouble. Down he goes. Cam Jordan back at the 19-yard line with the sack.
Cutler and Parker developed a nice chemistry in the preseason. Cutler there on the fake. In trouble. Hit. Ball is loose. Who's going to come up with it? It is going to stay with Miami. Cameron Jordan got the sack and the forced fumble, but somehow the Dolphins got it back.
Jim Caldwell told us yesterday that protection is something they talk about all the time, not just the last couple of games. As Stafford's feeling the heat, doesn't get enough protection as Cam Jordan's in there for the sack.
Right here.
2nd down for Stafford. Stafford under pressure and goes down. So as you said, a 3-score game. It's going to have to be another 4th quarter comeback for Stafford. Abdullah's jersey getting shredded by that Saints defense. Cam Jordan had a hold of it. The Superdome crowd, as loud as they have been all day. The pass is tipped and intercepted. It's Cam Jordan for the touchdown. Wow.
Michael Burton in the backfield, the fullback.
Here they come.
Trubisky pressured, and Trubisky goes down, just like you said.
Yep.
Kenny Vaccaro was coming in, as was Cameron Jordan, a loss of 9.
Marshawn Lattimore named the NFC's Defensive Rookie of the Month earlier this week. And Martin is slammed down by Alex Okafor well behind the line of scrimmage. Coming after Winston, and they're going to get him. Third down and a yard. And he is sacked again. He had an eye on Deshaun Jackson down the sideline.
Extra men on the rush for the Saints. Down goes Cousins. Cam Jordan.
But this is a tight end right here. They do a ton of stuff out of this.
Including throwing the football, but not having the chance to, as Jordan completes it, gets the sack. Goff is walloped by Jordan.
And they got to take a timeout.
When they've gotten on this run of 4 games in a row, they have run the ball awfully well.
Here's a little toss to Christian McCaffrey, who gets swallowed up with a loss on the play. Inside of 5 minutes left. Ryan runs Freeman to the right. Will be a loss of a yard. 22 carries, 87 yards now.
They need the 27. Bryce Petty, blocked by Beecham, knocked away. And inside the big paw of Cameron Jordan, came through, swats the ball away. As we took a look moments ago at those 3rd down numbers, 3rd and 3. Forte remains. They move the line, and that is batted away and grabbed on the ricochet by Cam Jordan, but he was on the sideline.
It was all built in, very minimal reads.
3rd and 6, batted down again, caught by Petty. He'll try to heave it, and it's out of bounds, and flags on the field.
Ryan in trouble, down he goes. Cameron Jordan with the sack. Ryan pressure in trouble, down he
number 2 on the game.
It'll be a 2nd down and 5 for Winston and the Buccaneers. And down he goes in the arms of Cameron Jordan. He had 2 sacks in the first game against the Buccaneers this year.
All field goals so far today for Carolina as Newton gets hit. That's Cam Jordan. On 3rd and 17. This one's batted down by Jordan.
Taylor has it and knocked out of bounds. Saints defense was ready for that. On 2nd and 2. Taylor backs into a couple of Saints and he's sacked at the 45. Cam Jordan and Alex Okafor.
Coleman, the running back. Off the play fake. Ryan. Chased by Jordan, who takes him down. 2nd sack of the game. The running back, he's out in a passing route. That pass knocked down. Good job by Cameron Jordan. Let's check the injury up.
So we don't have a referee judging the inline.
There's Ryan looking left for Julio Jones, and he's sacked. Cameron Jordan with his 2nd of the game.
He can catch. I mean, he's at the top of the Mount Rushmore in the league of receivers for sure. Oh, look at there he goes.
Look at this. Do something cool. Oh, look at you want cool? Here it comes. Can get away here. No, he's going to be dropped back for a loss. Cameron Jordan would not bend. A loss of 8.
2nd and 9 as Chris Thompson remains in, flanking Alex Smith. Coming after Smith, and they get to him. Cam Jordan, his 5th sack this season. 1st and goal now. Peterson. Great play taken down by Jordan. A loss of 2.
Now the running back is Rock Thomas, a rookie from Jacksonville State. And Thomas will get banged down as he reaches the line of scrimmage, and that's Cam Jordan now in his 8th year.
And they're playing deep into the playoffs.
Here's Dalton on 2nd down. Bengals looking to get something going, and that's not going to be it. Dalton is taken down for a sack. It's Cameron Jordan who gets it, and a 3rd down coming up.
This shows necessarily in the stats. Here's a little toss to Golden Tate. That didn't work. Play made by Cam Jordan. What a great job by Cam Jordan.
We'll do it at halftime. 3rd and 4 for Ryan. In trouble. Pocket collapses, and he is sacked. Cameron Jordan with the pressure on 3rd down. 3rd and a half does it. With 5 rushing, Ryan is sacked by Cameron Jordan. Sack number 5 for the Saints in the Dome tonight. And you can all
3-man rush. Prescott in trouble. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and there's Cam Jordan. One of the best in the game.
Amari Cooper, and he couldn't challenge the call after the 2 challenges already.
Yeah, 3rd down. Prescott. Flag is down. Ball is out. And this could be... Well, we'll just wait and see who comes away with it. And the indication is New Orleans, I believe.
On the field is a fumble recovered by New Orleans.
Bucks must get to the 12 for a 1st down. Winston in trouble. There is a flag. Winston brought down back at the 29-yard line. Cam Jordan and Marcus Davenport.
Holding. Offense, number 76. This penalty is declined. 4th down.
3rd down and 5. Winston was under pressure, and The Bucs will now be held to a field goal attempt after the New Orleans turnover.
Watch Cam is that his dad still holds him accountable for losing it. That's funny.
Bucs must get to the 35-yard line. Winston in trouble, and down he goes. Cam Jordan. You talked about him earlier as the face of this New Orleans Saints defense.
2nd and goal. Again, Ridley is the running back. Oh, and Roethlisberger falling on the handoff and able to keep it clean on the exchange.
Foles tipped at the line, incomplete. I believe it was Cam Jordan who got.
2nd down and 7. Goff keeps under pressure. Jordan got it. A little bit of a reveal of what could be to come. Let's see how they handle it here on 3rd and 15. As Jordan chasing him down and getting to Deshaun Watson.
That's good for the New Orleans Saints.
3rd down and 16. Pressure, and down goes Goff. And off the edge, Cam Jordan. 6 touches, 5 yards total. That ball's out. Picked up by the Saints and Jordan. And now they're saying incomplete pass. And they've blown it dead. Jordan's down the sideline, but Walt Anderson is saying incomplete pass, no fumble, with pressure by Onyemata.
But this Saints defensive line is shoving them around. Pressure again. And he's sacked again. Cameron Jordan.
Minshew under pressure and goes down at the 20-yard line, courtesy of Cameron Jordan. Minshew had to pull it down on the run, going to go down. That's Cameron Jordan.
Take it to Montgomery, and now Trubisky is dropped all the way back to the 34-yard line. And who else? A 4-time Pro Bowler. Bears 1 of 7 overall on 3rd down, and Trubisky is buried back at the 37-yard line. Jordan, his 2nd sack of the game.
Not a lot of guys can come back from a suspension and play as well as he did last week.
Well, he certainly gives him a lot of confidence, as does Cameron Jordan, who came in so fast and so hard.
3rd down and 9, and they're coming after Winston, and still on his feet, but down he goes to the 39-yard line.
Get Alvin Kamara involved early.
And you wanted to see him get at least 20 touches. He has that one in the 3rd quarter. And down goes Winston once again. Cameron Jordan.
From the 38, 1st down, Ryan flush, and he will go down. Cameron Jordan getting him right near the line of scrimmage. It's a yard back, so it looks like it'll be credited as a sack. We'll wait for the official stat on that. He's going for it here. 4th and 1 for the 1st down, 2 for the touchdown. Ryan throws for it, incomplete, trying to get to Christian Blake. There is no flag, and the Saints will take over at the 2. Seeing a little bit of that tonight. 2nd and 7, nothing there, pulls it down, scramble drill, and coming back to lose a whole bunch of yards is Kenyon Barner. So often talking about the charitable work done. So many of these players on Tuesdays spend their time in the community. Ryan in trouble here. He's tripped down and sacked by Cameron Jordan. So Cameron Jordan, who's gotten to Matt Ryan a lot, 14 times in his career coming in tonight, has been around a couple more here tonight. So the Falcons didn't say die. They are alive. Ryan stepping up, sacked for the 3rd time by Cameron Jordan.
Great rush.
Here comes the pressure again. Ryan.
No chance.
The game shut down by Cameron Jordan, who's had a standout performance. A 4-sack Thanksgiving night that will take New Orleans to the NFC South title.
And be able to make some plays.
Mostert on the carry. Nowhere, even loses a yard. More on this game. Let's go down the sidelines with Pam Oliver.
Under 5 minutes to play in the quarter. From the 27-yard line, This time, Cam Jordan able to make the play, takes down Tannehill, and they picked it up via penalty. Greer in trouble, spun around, down he goes at the 17-yard line.
Just a three-man rush. Cousins goes down. Play made by Cam Jordan. Fournette. Great play made by Jordan.
Stafford steps up on third down, wrapped up, down he goes. Cam Jordan.
Dak's brother tweeted a picture from the hospital last night and guaranteed his brother will be back and stronger than ever since game one of his rookie season in 2016.
Pressure. Herbert not going to get out of there. Nearly lost the football, too. Jordan and Hendrickson combined to get there, and that football nearly popped up. And that is Justin Jackson, the ball carrier. Won't get back to the line of scrimmage.
And now it's winning time.
Jackson spins off some people. Doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. C.J. Gardner-Johnson had the first contact there. And again,
Foles is going to be sacked. Cam Jordan got through.
3rd and 11. No Julio Jones on the field here. Matt Ryan pressured and dropped. Cam Jordan got to him, and the Saints have their first sack of the day. 3rd down and 2. Here comes the house. Ryan, second look, third look, in trouble, and sacked again. Cam Jordan gets home, the 4th sack today. This D is humming. 4-man rush here. Ryan sacked again. Cameron Jordan has his 3rd. The Saints have their 7th.
You got to run the ball. You've got to run that option stuff.
A little trickery right out of the gate. They'll go with the reverse to KJ Hamler, but he's going to end up losing yardage.
We just got to make something up here.
Hinton, oh boy, it collapses fast at this level. Cameron Jordan had a massive game last week with 3 sacks.
Oh, here they go with Hardman. Jordan is there, though.
3rd down and 6. Vikings need a conversion, and they're not going to get it. Ball is out.
Here he comes. Picked up by Schofield. Batted into the air, and Bridgewater does the smart thing and bats it straight down.
11 carries so far. He has a catch. That's his 12th. I know Joe Brady talked about you want to get 30 runs in this game.
Handoff Bolden. Trying to get to the edge, and Cameron Jordan said no.
Couple of enormous flags against the Saints. Gibson, and he is going backwards.
Saints came in with just 8 sacks, tied for the fewest in the NFL, and they had the bye. Here's Gino stumbling, and he'll get dropped. That time it's Cameron Jordan. Loss of 5.
On 3rd and 6, only a 3-man rush. Still able to get there. The ball is free, and the Saints have it. Marcus Davenport knocked it out, and Onyemata in his first game back fell on it.
4th and inches. Davis will not get there. Second down and 11 for Atlanta. Ryan backpedaling. Down he goes. Cam Jordan. 3rd sack of the season.
Running back is Peterson, 1st and goal. It's out to AP, chasing the play by Cam Jordan, and down near the 1.
Guys walked up on the line of scrimmage, showing blitz.
They're going to bring just 4. And it still gets to Hurts. Now it's Cameron Jordan on the other side closing it out. And now the restlessness has begun here in Philadelphia a little bit.
Also, turnover margin and ball security here in the second half.
They start with a run, at least a handoff, and a loss of 2 by Ezekiel Elliott. 35 for Brady. Pressure on, and they got to him. A sack. Cameron Jordan. 3rd and 7. 4 rushing Brady, and they got him. And it's Jordan again. Their defense has been on the field a lot. 15 more plays. Brady, pressured, gets out. He's going to run for it again. Jordan forced the fumble. And the Saints recover with Lattimore. What a game Cameron Jordan is having tonight.
Brissett rolling to his right. Slips down and won't get there. The slip cost him. Cameron Jordan got him. Saints rushing 4. Tagovailoa going to be taken down. Cameron Jordan. Who else for New Orleans? And the clock winds.
Faking the toss. Now Darnold with Cam Jordan pursuing, and Jordan will track him out of bounds.
Man, I love that. The Cam Jordan, it's his 11th year in the league, isn't it?
Yep. Darnold, pocket collapses. Down he goes. Cam Jordan, add another one to his ledger.
Oh, they went man.
Oh. And Darnold's in trouble. Guess who? Cam Jordan also there. Quan Alexander. Darnold again hit. This time he's not going to be able to get rid of it.
Guess who?
Yeah, who else? 3.5 sacks now today for Cameron Jordan.
Ryan tried the shovel pass, and it's batted away by Cameron Jordan. For the Saints, they need a win and a San Francisco loss against the Rams to clinch a playoff spot. Ryan in trouble. Down he goes. Cam Jordan, number 23, against Matt Ryan and the Falcons.
Each set of downs for the Falcons. On the pitch. Patterson bottled up. Cam Jordan came up to make the play.
White. Oh, he gets swallowed up in the backfield. Cameron Jordan came right through.
For these Carolina Panthers, dating back to last year, they haven't won a home game in more than a calendar year. Pressure coming for Baker. He gets out of one, but can't escape Marcus Davenport. On 3rd and 3, Saints rush 4. They get to Cousins. Down he goes. Marcus Davenport finishes him off. Cam Jordan was there first.
On 3rd and 5, they'll fake the give.
Great play.
But nowhere to go.
Yes, sir.
Geno Smith needing 2 yards here. Pressure coming, and he's taken down.
Guess who?
There's Cam Jordan again. Just a huge play right here. Smith escapes the pocket. Has nowhere to go. He's being pressured. And Cam Jordan takes him down to the ground. His 2nd sack of the game.
Saints have been flagged 5 times. 3rd and 14. Murray protected well, but everybody's covered, and he goes down. Big sack back at the 11-yard line. Granderson and Jordan are both there.
It's a fake. Here they come up the middle. He dumps it off. He got it to the tight end, Moreau, but they're going to lose a couple on the play. And a couple were in there on the stop. 2nd down, 18 for Carr. Jacobs with a block, a chip. Carr is being pressured there by Roach, and then doused and sacked on the play, coming through Cameron Jordan.
Inside the 20-yard line, Deebo Samuel in the backfield, tracked down by Cam Jordan. How happy are they to have Cam Jordan back after he missed last week with an orbital bone fracture?
Hazardly, their offense has been third and over, and so 3rd and 17 is a good time to get one. Easy. They all hit hard. Oh, there it is. Look at you, E. No. Swarm. Look at you. Swarm. Look at you. They got the lead. 3rd and 17.
That's right. Good field position for the 38. Here's Cordero Patterson. Can Atlanta's excellent run game get going? Cameron Jordan comes up with the tackle for loss.
They have the coaching staff defensively. Dennis Allen was the coordinator. Now he's the head coach.
3rd is short. This is Hunt going backwards. And that time the run defense up to the task. What a push for New Orleans.
And against extra good run defenses those last couple of years in New Orleans. It's Minshew. Puts his foot in the ground and goes down. Cameron Jordan, longtime team captain, gets Minshew. Got all 3 timeouts in 34 seconds with which to work. Gardner Minshew steps up and gets sacked. No time to throw as Cameron Jordan gets the sack. 8th catch, over 100 yards for Smith now, back-to-back weeks. The fake, the pressure, the fumble, the sack. Cameron Jordan finishes it all off.
It's a major run in this finale. It's a 1st and goal carry, and that's going nowhere. Cam Jordan loves the sack total, but he'll take a tackle for loss.
1st down, Tannehill with an empty set. Surrounded in the pocket and is brought down. And there's Cameron Jordan.
Matt Jones moves up, grabbed on the play by Jordan. Cameron Jordan with his 1st sack this season. Bobbled, fumble. Cameron Jordan vacuums it in. Another New England turnover. On the pitch to Stevenson.
He picked up 8. Pierce is holding open for him, and the Saints give Cam Jordan and the Honey Badger from LSU and his 11th year Matthew credit for bringing him down.
Minshew in trouble. Granderson pushing the pocket. Down he goes. Saints get the sack back near the 8.
In the red zone where they have scored 8 consecutive touchdowns. Bagent play action. Steps up in trouble and down he goes. And that is Cameron Jordan with the sack.
From the 34-yard line, Gibbs goes in motion. And off play action, Goff will swing it outside to Montgomery. Got cracked by Taylor, and then the rest of the Saints rally to finish him off. Jordan is there.
Mayfield patting the feet. That's deflected and picked off into the hands of Cam Jordan. Brian Brzee tipped it into the air, and Cam Jordan has the interception.
Incomplete. Cousins was pressured and looked like got hit as he was throwing it. Very frustrated.
Without stability at the most important position. And no, it's not tight end, it is quarterback.
And this is the 1st sack of the day for the Saints as Cameron Jordan gets his 1st sack of the season, believe it or not.
So 3rd down and 9. Lock, pocket collapsing. Down he goes. Brian Brzee, who's been batting balls down at the line, takes Drew Lock down at the 25, a loss of 6.
On Long Island over 2 decades ago. Going up against Quinn and the Commanders here today as Daniels is wrapped up and brought down again, this time.
Nothing but tight ends are in the game, and a jumbo tight end.
10th play of the drive. Daniels taken down. Back at the 6-yard line. That's the 6th.
Now Jacobs cuts back, and he is ripped to the ground as Cam Jordan, who's still doing it, at the age of 35 makes that stop, and a loss of 1.
Alexander Madison is the deep back. Here is Madison and another New Orleans stop up front. O'Connell looking, dancing, backing, sacked. And it's Cam Jordan again, the all-time Saints sack leader. Adds another one, more than 120.
It was well done by Doug Miller and company.
All right, here are the Bucs. Little pop pass. McMillan in trouble. Taken down in the backfield. Cam Jordan, the ageless one.